Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. I'm Barbara.
I'm Chris.
I'm Gavin.
And I'm Blaine.
And this is a special coronavirus quarantine, social distancing.
This isn't special. This is our lives from now on.
Yeah.
We're keeping our nice space. Nice space from each other.
How long has it been since the world was normal?
Oh, let me see. I mean, Saturday was the last time that I went to the grocery store and it was a fucking madhouse. Or Friday, rather.
I feel like I'm already used to this new world.
Yeah?
The New World Order.
Like I've already, like when I think about like, oh, I can order something and it'll be delivered in an hour. That's long gone to me. In my head, I'm like, oh, I remember those days. Now everything is awful.
There's been a lot of really clever memes and tweets and posts coming out of this. And I think my favorite one I've seen is someone's like, all right, who started a game of Jumanji in the beginning of 2020 and hasn't finished it yet?
Yeah.
To me, that's the most accurate thing that's happened.
Yeah, it's just fucking weird. It's just eerie, like going out and stuff like that. And like even today, it's just like kind of dead around the office.
Yeah.
I feel so unprepared and uneasy at all times.
I'm not. I talked about this on the podcast, 'cause like in 3 or 4 years ago. I got an emergency bucket.
You did say that. You did have an emergency bucket.
But like, if your toilet breaks.
No, well, no, but that is listed as one of the uses for it. I'm not kidding. That is used as.
It's just a bucket in case of emergency.
No, it's a bucket full of like, it's got 30 days of food that's like, you know, sealed for 10 years. And I also got another emergency backpack that's inside, like next to the bucket. That's got.
No, my dog got into that one already. He ate all the food out of it.
And it's got like a mask and gloves. So that's hard to come by. And then like a flare and lights and a wind up flashlight with a
Chris
with a
runs out of
radio.
food in his living room.
The ceiling.
Well, and I got like little water purification tablets.
That's cool. So when did you get this?
Like 2016 or 2015.
And it's still good. Expiration's all good.
It was for 10 years.
So we should probably mention a couple things that we're just getting started. Those of you joining us, the podcast and our live streams moving forward for a brief period of time are going to be free for everyone. We kind of understand that things are very different right now, and a lot of people are stuck at home in quarantine or even maybe in isolation because of the virus. And so we wanted to share entertainment with everyone where possible. I know Achievement Hunter just did that amazing 12-hour live stream this weekend.
Yeah.
And so we're just trying to provide for you guys however we can. And even if that means being able to watch podcasts for a couple hours to take your mind off things, we want to help out with that.
We've got our social distancing chairs happening here.
Yeah.
I'm blown away because I feel like I'm looking on Twitter and I'm seeing a lot of people sort of staying away from other people. Like, I feel like everyone's doing that online. But then you just see online that like everyone's at the beach. Like, who are those people? Like, I feel like half the world is taking it very seriously, and the other half is proactively not taking it seriously. Like, you know what? I'm going to see as many people as possible. Or like, Trump's going to shake every hand along the way, apart from...
The beach isn't as bad as like people out at like a concert or
let's
like,
be clear.
I mean,
none of it's good. Like,
No,
it
no,
shouldn't
no.
be, you know?
No, but at least the beach is open and it's like, there's not like fingerprints on sand.
You're not also like that close to a lot of people as if you were like in the same restaurant with each other or sharing the same
air.
Well,
air.
And that's the thing is like, and like, I think a lot of people, there's like two ends of the spectrum. There's
so far away from.
But it's great because we're going to be safe from each other. But there's like two ends of the spectrum. There's the people that are like out of spite, like fucking shaking hands and licking fucking toilet seats.
Or they're like, the virus
like
can't defeat us. We're going to go out and party.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to show them no mercy. It's like, this isn't fucking terrorism.
It's also not about you as an individual. Like,
Right.
you might not get it, or you might show no symptoms. Like that, I feel like when it was first going around, no one was taking it that seriously because it was like low fatality rate.
It was also
Didn't affect
different
a ton of
countries.
people.
It's the age thing that's getting a lot of people. They're like, I'm young and healthy. It's not going to affect me. It doesn't fucking matter about you.
Yeah,
it's your parents.
When I found out that you can just carry it without symptoms, and maybe you won't even get symptoms, but you can still pass it on, I was like, that is super serious then.
Yeah.
Because that information wasn't around right at the beginning, or at least I didn't know.
I just know I've been telling my mom to go get groceries for like 3 weeks now. And I was like, hey, Mom, this is a thing. I think it's going to come down. It's going to be bad. And so you might go get some groceries. And she's like, what? Calm down. And I'm like,
And now, like, she's still kind of doing that, right?
Well, I think she's taking it more serious now. But like, It's taken a little while.
I'm so fucking proud of my parents because my parents are in the very same age group and belief system as your mom. And they're like, they haven't made contact with anybody in like 3 days.
That's good.
I'm so fucking proud of them because it's like it's a serious thing. But yeah, there's like two ends of the spectrum. There's those people that are like being out of spite, fucking like spitting in the face of the virus, and then there's the other people that are like, I gotta buy like tons of toilet paper and water and stuff like that. But like, there's a nice little middle window where you can go out and walk your dog and just stay like 7 feet away from people. And that's
All
fine.
I keep thinking about is, did you ever see that episode of Scrubs where that old woman dies because like the glove is like got all the goo on it or
No, I
something?
haven't seen that.
But they're basically like, it's not real goo, but they show like the transaction of germs throughout the hospital, and like one intern guy like killed some woman just unintentionally. But it's like, yeah, it's you're not being, I don't know who's that for. Like when you're like, screw the virus, and then you end up like, you could even be killing people that you don't know.
Yeah.
Like, who are you cool to if you're out partying and like spitting in the virus's face?
It comes down to selfishness, and like, and I'm not like, innocent of it, because last night I stocked up on groceries responsibly. I wasn't like hoarding or anything
To
like
a
that.
certain extent. I
Yeah.
think there's like a fair way to do it. Like people who are clearing shelves off of
Pricks.
canned food or toilet paper or supplies, whatever. Like, yeah, you're a prick. Maybe get like 3 or 4 cans of soup or some frozen meals or whatever
or
it
a
is.
bucket. That's
Or a
you
bucket.
put stuff in
But then,
for
that's
emergencies.
the thing, though, is like 3 or 4 cans of soup. Like, how long do you know how to stock up for? What if you need like 2 months of food?
I
Nobody knows.
got like 3 to 4 weeks.
I
think.
have emergency food, like probably about 2 weeks worth, just in case. But like we're eating normally up until, worst comes to worst scenario type situation.
I have like a tier list or a tier system. It sounds like I might sound like I'm a crazy person, but I have like a tier. Like I got like my breads and like my meats that are going to expire kind of soon, and then after that, then it starts going into the canned foods and the canned like packaged tunas.
There's
and
a
then
lot of
after
stuff
that,
you
it's
could
like it's like ramen and like
Yeah.
shit that I do not want to put in my body, but I will if I have to. Huel, like instant meals, protein powder.
There's stuff you could freeze as well that I think a lot of people forget about. Like you don't just need
It's true.
completely non-perishable things.
I got like a week of food, but it's mainly like pasta and sauce and stuff. But I love that, and I can't stop eating it.
Hey.
Like, I'm just eating it now. It's like this is pointless.
Yeah, I know. Me and Trevor have been very like picky and choosy with what we're eating in terms of like, no, well that could be saved for a worst case scenario situation. So like let's not touch that and let's only focus on eating that kind of stuff. And there's lots of food at the studio that we could eat too.
I wonder what it will change about the future.
I think media, like this kind of stuff, like you guys were doing a lot of live stream things and like we're opening up to free, but like I think feature films, like
that's already happening.
what
I
released?
don't remember. I read some article, like it was on Twitter or something, so I didn't fully read it, but they're going to be releasing some feature films.
Universal is the first to do it. Invisible Man is coming to VOD.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
They're coming out like same day and like immediately.
Which
also-
kind of sucks because I don't want theaters to suffer from it, and I hope we're able to recover, and like movie theaters are going to be fine. But like that's the kind of opportunity that this unfortunate circumstance presents.
Did you
is
see
like,
what the Alamo Drafthouse is doing?
Oh no, what are they doing?
So the other day, me and Trevor were like, should we go to a movie? We decided not to because we're trying to be responsible. But we were looking at tickets online, and the Alamo Drafthouse is only they're not selling seats next to each other for groups. So if you buy 2 tickets, they're going to block off the 2 seats next to you too.
Fascinating.
So they don't let you sit next to each other.
Good. That's
No,
really
it's smart, but
That, and then did you see the there's like certain supermarkets that are opening up like an hour or two, and that's strictly for like seniors,
oh really?
which I think is fucking great.
That
It's
is
like
good.
seniors can get in there, they can shop, and then get all the food that they need, because really it's about protecting them more than anybody else at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish more people would be, more businesses would be mindful like that.
The best advice I saw,
Sure they will.
and for anyone who is like curious about what to do, essentially you should act as if you have the virus. Like that's the level of protection you should be putting on yourself to protect other people. Essentially quarantining and being mindful, not touching things, washing your hands frequently, all this stuff. Pretend as if you already have the virus, and that's essentially the best course of action.
Yeah. I saw a couple comments about my hat. I'm wearing a cowboy hat.
Hey, talking about the things that matter, folks. Chris's hat.
Well,
Tell us more.
sorry,
Is that from the bucket?
no, it didn't come in the bucket. It wouldn't fit. It's not that big of a bucket. Is it? Oh, wait. Well, if you want, if we can, I don't want to change the subject
No,
prematurely.
please. I think
I
we've
mean, you
talked.
did already, so it's fine.
Okay.
I think people know. I will say one thing before we get completely off coronavirus. And I think a lot of content creators that you guys are watching probably are doing the same thing and giving a similar message. But we're doing our best to be here when we can in a responsible way to keep making content for you guys, because that's essentially our priority and keeping you guys in mind. But there's only so much we could do, and things might escalate to the point where we actually can't be physically in the studio. So our content might evolve and change over time, and we might have to find ways to do podcasts or other shows with each other from our own houses and apartments. So we appreciate you guys kind of sticking with us and
It'll be like the old days,
being patient.
Skyping and stuff.
I know. We should just do a podcast of you and me Skyping.
Let's do it.
And you making me read dirty words.
Felch.
All right.
What's up with your hat, Chris?
Well, I'm wearing the hat
You sure are, partner.
because today. Well, okay. So I got a haircut, and I've never. Barbara gave me a haircut, and dyed my hair, parts of my hair.
Yep.
And and so it's well, I guess wait for the video to come out. It'll probably be an RT Live. It all stemmed from like a tweet that someone made to Barbara that was like, "Hey, the female form of barber is Barbara," and then she was like, "Hey, anybody want a haircut?" And I like jokingly was like, "Sign me up," and she was like, "Let's do it." And then I was like, and I sent her a gif of like
Justin
Timberlake with frosted tips.
Let's just say I've never dyed or cut anyone's hair before.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did a really good job.
I think you did too.
Well, the bits that I can see look pretty good. Did you touch those?
We didn't get as bleached as we thought we would, but when you bleach really dark hair, it tends to turn orange. So it might be skewing a little bit more on the orange side.
Yeah.
Without getting too descriptive, if I saw Chris like and he was just a stranger out in the streets, I wouldn't think anything of his hair. I'd be like, oh yeah, it's just a style. And it's just like, it's not a style I would use. Definitely not. But like, okay, I can see he was going for something. So it looks good. Yeah.
We asked people to rate it, and a lot of people gave me a high rating on the cut, not as much the color.
Yeah. It's a look.
Someone did without prompting for what the inspiration was, unsolicited say the 90s called and they want their hair back.
Ironically, Chad said that to you. Just kidding.
Man, Chad has a lot of hair.
He has a lot of
I
hair.
didn't realize until the
Yeah.
other day.
We should cut his hair next.
I think so too.
Gavin, you want to cut Chad's hair?
No, I don't want to do that to him. I'm no good at that kind of thing.
I didn't.
I
Think
can't
that
even
was you.
draw.
Yeah. I also think
Two completely uncorrelated skills.
Well, I was thinking if it's like carving out of, it's like 3D drawing, really, isn't it?
it kind of is. But with like 3D drawing with like spaghetti or something. Well, what? I guess spaghetti's just thicker hair, so they didn't mind.
Can we, for the
I'll be
next
honest, I
podcast, get a
took
head full of spaghetti?
I took that way off the rails, and you like kicked it further.
That laugh that you just made was completely appropriate for the hat you're wearing.
But no, I don't think we're not going to show you guys because we filmed a whole video of it happening, and we don't want to ruin the reveal. So
Yeah. Well, and I don't have very many. I don't have any reasons to wear this hat ever.
Why does anyone wear a hat?
Well, so I got this hat whenever we were shooting Day 5 Season 2, and we were like out in the desert in sandstorms, and I went like a couple
Like
days.
Darude?
Yes, Gerudo Valley.
Darude Sandstorm.
Oh,
Did you hear that, Eric? I said like Darude, and you're like, yes, Darude Valley.
no, I thought you said Gerude, and I was like Gerudo
What?
Valley, like from Zelda. Sorry.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Anyway,
Oh, Lord. Sorry.
but good one.
No, it really wasn't. That one did not land.
I liked it.
Thank you.
I'll
I
give
liked
you a
it
little
once
look.
it was explained to me.
So do you get it now?
The joke?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I got it now. Yeah. But yeah, so I got after filming in the desert
It's
for a
a
few
legit
days. It was like we were
cowboy
all
hat,
sunburned,
dude.
and I actually got the hat because it was like practical. I'm not in the desert often, so I haven't really worn it since, except for once to a crazy hat party. Well, twice because I went to the crazy hat party twice because I accidentally went.
Like you left your keys at home.
No,
and
as in I might have mentioned this on a podcast. Did I mention this on a podcast?
You'll have to say the story first, and then
Okay.
I'll tell you if you mention it on
Okay.
the podcast.
I showed up to a party a week early.
Did you just stay?
No,
Just stayed and
but I
waited.
was like late to the party. So
Late when
Was
late
it
a week
a
early?
surprise party?
no, it was just a crazy hat party.
You talking about you were late when
I
you
was
were a
late the
week.
first time.
So you were actually very,
I was
very
actually
early.
really early, but I
Right.
thought I was late. So then I was like, and I didn't see anyone.
A crazy hat party.
What?
A crazy hat party.
Yeah.
What?
What was that? The hat or
Yeah, this is the hat I wore. So I
he
show-
won? He won the party.
So I show up and I'm like late and I'm like can't find anyone and I'm like, oh my god, did no one show up and did they leave because no one showed up to their party?
How
Was
big
this
is
in a-
this crazy hat? Is this like a stranger's event or like you
No,
knew who was?
this is a friend's party.
Was this in a public space?
Yes, it was
so
like
you
a-
were at some bar with that hat.
Yes.
Oh, well, it's a good thing you live in Texas then, because
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
people probably wouldn't have thought anything of it.
I mean, yeah,
Just get some looks.
yeah, especially because I wandered around the bar for like 10 minutes trying to find the party. So,
So you're just seeing some like lost cowboy looking real concerned.
basically.
What if they did have a party that night, but it wasn't a crazy hat party? So the people were there, you just couldn't find them.
And then I wander around and then I check the Facebook group. I was like, this is the right location. And then I text the person. I was like, hey, where are you guys? Where's everyone? And then no response. And then I checked the Facebook group again and it was the wrong date. So
Turns out it was an invisible cloak party.
yeah. So then I texted. Well, I ended up meeting up with Eric.
with that hat?
Yeah.
Where
Were you
was this?
embarrassed?
It was like a couple weeks ago.
So Eric, are you lonely enough to be available at a moment's notice when
Oh,
Chris?
I was running errands and he's like, hey man, what are you up to? And I said, just getting done running these errands. And he said, cool, let's hang out. And I said, yeah, sure. And
Do you
then
guys hang out a lot?
No, not to make a pun, but Eric is anywhere you need him to be at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, sure.
Drop it this hat.
Okay, right. Not to make a pun, but like, there's been nights where I've just been like, my date ditched me. You want to hang out? And he'll be like, fucking at the taco place.
Because Eric's a
that I'm at
good
in
friend.
Eric
Yeah.
will hang out with anyone. I once hung out with Eric and TPG. And that was it.
Yeah, we saw Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, we did.
Boy.
We saw it in D-Box.
Wow.
That
What
was
a
like one of
group.
the few times I've hung out with Eric outside of work.
Really? We hang out with Eric all the time. He's great.
Who's we?
Oh yeah. See, Chelsea.
everyone?
Chelsea just commented on the group because she was also in the Facebook group for the party, and because I posted a picture in the Facebook event the week early and saying, "Hey,
Oh, don't worry. It's right here.
what does it say, Eric?"
After wandering around the bar for 10 minutes, I've concluded that the event is not today. See y'all next week.
Wait, was it in the daytime?
Yeah, it's like an afternoon, Saturday
okay.
afternoon.
You should have just said warming the place up for y'all.
We ended up going to a brewery and getting a drink afterwards, and he walked in with his hat and then looked at me and he went, I can't wear this here, and then took it off. Why couldn't you wear it there? That's another thing. You were already at a brewery.
You can wear that anywhere
Yeah,
in the
I
state.
know.
Here.
I felt like people couldn't tell that I was wearing it. Ironically,
But that's the thing with that kind of hat. It's not like a goofy hat.
I know, but
It's
like
a hat.
Especially here.
Yeah, it just
You also,
That'd be
you
like
live in
wearing a-
Austin, specifically Austin, Texas. Like you can go fucking you can. I hung out there the other night and wore a sweatband, and he was like, "Well, did you just work out?" Yeah, it's just sweatband.
That'd be like wearing a beanie in Canada.
yeah.
okay.
Like it's just like part of the wardrobe.
Well, I wore it on this,
And it
so-
looks good.
No,
And no one will ever wonder why
It
ever
looks
again.
real good.
I have a so on the subject of showing up early. I once took a friend to the airport. He's like, "Hey, can you give me a ride to the airport?" I was like, "Sure." Drove him to the airport, dropped him off, drive home. He texted me, "Hey, can you pick me up from the airport?"
Day early.
I was like, "Why? What? Did you miss?" He's like, "Yeah, something." And I go and pick him up. I was like, "So wait, what's the deal?" He goes, "Oh, my flight's not today. It's next month."
A whole month
We're gonna
off?
take turns guessing who this person is.
Do we know this friend?
I don't think you do.
Okay, then it's not
I don't think it's
Zach
someone.
Ganner. That sounds like a Zach Anner.
It is a Zach Anner thing. No, Zach would have been like, my flight was last month because he's always late to everything.
I would
So-
guess it's your friend that has all the conspiracy theories.
No,
He doesn't fly because he doesn't believe in planes. Chemtrails.
It's my friend. It's my friend who has like narcolepsy, cataplexy, who would like fall asleep all the time.
Oh, right.
That
Oh, the
friend.
one you tried to play Dungeons and Dragons with, and for some reason he couldn't stay awake.
Yeah,
Poor lad.
So I'm confused. How do you?
I was confused too until like last week when I showed up.
Because surely you fly for a reason. Like he was flying to go and do something.
Yeah,
Was that thing in a month
yeah.
as well?
Well, no, his flight was in a month.
But his thing,
But the thing he was flying to.
No, it was just, everything was the next month. So,
everything was the next
So
month.
it was like some sort of like family reunion or something, and had been planned for forever, and he'd bought the tickets forever. And what he said was he had asked off work. Work had given him off the wrong dates. And so when he saw he was off work, he thought that was when his flight was.
Wow.
So that's how he ended up at the airport a month early.
It's so difficult to do that in this modern age.
Especially, yeah, with
Well,
apps and everything.
This
too,
was
yeah.
this was a
Invites
while
and
ago.
stuff.
So
Okay.
this was around when I was in college. So like it was like
Okay.
late 2000, 2009 maybe. So maybe he like knew his flight was at a certain day and time, and then didn't look at like, and I think it might have been June.
Instead of July.
June and July are, confusable.
They both start with JU. I can see the confusion.
So
Gavin would have said they both start with Jew.
So, yeah. I mean, I went through a phase of I kept booking flights in the wrong month, but I would immediately be like, damn it, I've done it again.
the worst
But I wouldn't ever like go to those flights.
The worst I did was I booked a flight on the wrong day, the day before, and then I show up to the airport.
Was it like a midnight flight?
No.
so
I
did you just
I
wait
show up
there?
on I show up. It was like a Sunday night or Sunday afternoon flight, and I show up, and they're like, I was like, I go to the little thing. And I'm like, hey, my flight's not in the system. What's the deal? And they're like, oh yeah, your flight was yesterday.
Oh,
But to be fair, it was like the airline was down, the website was down, and I booked it like 8 different times, and it kept erroring and erroring and erroring.
So what'd you do?
Well, so I kept going through it and click, yes, and then purchase, and then it would fail, and then I have to do it all. So I went through the process
So
of
you
filling.
purchased 16 tickets.
No, I only bought one, but on the wrong day, because when in my process of like going through it so many different times,
You get
Yeah.
impatient, you start rushing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so
Especially if it's one of those things where it brings up the calendar and you just click something.
yeah, and that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
there's like no greater horror than like, oh, I got a vibration on my phone. Let me check my thing. Your flight is boarding in 1 hour, and you're like not at the airport.
yeah, that happened to you one time.
Yeah, I was like in San Francisco, and I was like
you
laying in
forget
bed
you were-
playing video games, and was like, oh fuck. Like, just,
What'd you do?
I was just like,
Did you book it?
I don't think I canceled, but I just like booked a one way. It was fucking expensive.
I saw this video online of these girls who were studying abroad in Europe.
Uh-oh.
And of course, we just had the travel ban come into place. And apparently, they had to like leave. I think they were in the UK. They had to leave within like the next like that day. And so they like all booked flights that day. And they were showing around their apartment and places they were staying. They're like, all right, this girl, her flight leaves in 1 hour. This is her room right now. This girl's flight leaves in 3 hours. This is her room right now. Like essentially completely unpacked, where they're just like, I guess I'm leaving all my shit here because we have to leave the country today in order to get back home.
So we had a group, and I've talked to you guys about this, but we were supposed to go to Japan. Like, what's today's date? Is it the
Today's the 16th.
16th? I'm supposed to be leaving in 2 days. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But I had booked my flight a little bit earlier than the rest of my group, and the rest of my group, their intention was just like go over, and then if it turns to like risk level 3, then they would book flights back. And I was like, that does not sound like vacation. So at this point, everybody's canceled their flights, and we're dealing with all the American Airlines shit. But like, I'm probably going to be out a few $100s, you know.
But you could have been stuck there.
Yeah, I feel
I'm
like
s-
during this week, especially,
Yeah.
Well-
everyone needs to get to where they are happy being stuck.
Stuck
Well,
for a
and
period
now.
of time.
it's you were debating
Because you
it
would have
for
been
like,
out a lot more money if you had
Yeah.
to stay
Oh,
in
yeah, for
Japan.
sure.
Yeah.
Blaine was also debating. He was debating whether or not to cancel his flight like a couple weeks ago, as it was escalating, and it's now. I think it's like, oh yeah, it's great that you didn't do it, but
Yeah.
like a couple weeks ago, it was like it was risky, It was like, well, I don't know, is it going to get worse, or what's the plan? What happens if I get,
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like all the unknowns and stuff like that, and I think like aren't people using like Italy right now as like that's us in 2 weeks
Yeah.
essentially?
It's a comparison, yeah, just in terms of their escalation.
Yeah, and
I
like
think it's a
shit's
week.
a week ahead of us because like
I think I saw 2 weeks.
did they have like 389
10 days
10
ahead of
days.
us.
10 days? Man,
We were both right or both wrong.
hey, we met in the middle,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but we
there's-
didn't touch.
it's crazy how much like information is not put out there, and like,
In this day and age,
well, it's just
Or
it's
put out
crazy
there
be-
by someone in charge of the country who isn't right and just bullshits at all times.
who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing and is purposely trying to
Downplay.
downplay the situation and not wanting numbers being released in hopes of
I
helping
feel-
his reelection.
I feel like, honestly, at the moment, Trump is the most dangerous man on television.
Absolutely, I agree.
Like, he's, we all have our political views, but it's just dangerous. Just chatting shite all the time, chatting nonsense.
well,
Bollocks.
I've been trying to think of like from the perspective of a person that's trying to downplay this, like what they get out of it, and I think what ultimately comes down to is they're trying to save a buck. Like it's affecting the economy. It's fucking us over. A lot of people are gonna like not come to work, and then like they're gonna lose out and stuff like that. So it's like, is the government gonna have to provide for those people? And like that's what it comes down to. But like, I think that dip in the economy and losing money in a little bit of business is worth it if you're gonna be saving
Well,
people's lives.
It's
Yeah.
also short term because it's like the economy's gonna dip, but it will dip a lot worse if a third of the planet gets sick.
yeah,
Like, that would be a way
worse situation.
like if a third. Well, did I say sick or dies?
Sick.
If a third of the planet dies, much greater number get sick.
It was just kind of like one of the.
Did I say third or I meant 3%. Sorry,
I was gonna say a third's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
3% die. Sorry,
100
I'll
million
stop.
Americans dead.
I'm done. I'm gonna stop talking.
It was crazy. I was watching some press conference or something where Trump was addressing people, and there was reporters in the audience and stuff like that. And there was a reporter who was from Florida and was saying, in Florida, one of our biggest businesses there is the cruise ship industry, cruise and all that stuff. Like, what is something that we could do to help this? Like, what is your solution for the dip that these people will be seeing in business and stuff like that? And he just goes on to say, oh, cruise ship, great industry. I'm with them all the way. And that was literally all he said on the subject. And it's his response is like that for everything. He doesn't give a real answer or solution to anything.
Is it just because he didn't know specifically? I don't know why he's talking.
I
Just
just-
get the health officials, get the experts to talk.
Or just
they
like-
can't even say stuff to him and have him relay it because he changes it. Just have them on TV.
Spin. Well, that was the thing is like I was watching with Andrew when they declared a national crisis or whatever. It was like that press conference, and like everybody that was coming up, he was like shaking their hands, and one dude was like elbow. It was just
Yeah.
like balls to that guy. But
this also, I just want to say, is like, this isn't a political thing. It's not Republican versus Democrat versus anybody.
Yeah.
It's just this person right now is not taking the appropriate measures and conveying the appropriate information to keep everyone as safe and healthy as possible. And
He's
that
not
is
the only
issue.
one either.
Of course.
It's like a global event.
It's
and
a global thing.
There's not a ton of people handling it great.
there are other countries.
the shit that's pissing me off too is like there's again like the spiteful folks, like the dude. There was like a church gathering. I saw a few videos like this at just different events, but there was like a church gathering where like the guy was like, "You guys are in the safest place. You're in the house of God. Nothing can happen to you here. You know what? Forget this whole virus scare thing. Go around and shake hands with 3 other people." And it's just like, why are you doing this? Like you're just like you're doing it intentionally.
There was a post on Reddit too about someone who got an email from their church saying that if they didn't show up for service, they didn't have faith in God.
Oh gosh.
Saying like, if you don't have faith in God to protect you from this, then there's something wrong with you type thing. And it's just
Conversely, I've seen a lot of people going to church online, which I thought was cool.
that's great. I think everyone should use their best judgment, but also, we need to kind of all be safe in this situation.
Last week I was in an Apple store. It was like coronavirus, that people still weren't doing so much social distancing, but it was still about, and someone recognized me in there, and we both went to shake hands, like, oh, nice to meet you, and we both went like in unison, and we were just like this.
I like that.
Yeah. Or like that. But then I watched a guy steal 2 iPhones.
Oh.
What?
Yeah,
Do you know about that?
I think so.
Oh.
What?
Did I tell that already?
No.
Oh.
Where did I hear that?
Were you there?
I think I saw
Were
somebody...
you the one who stole the iPhones?
She's like, oh, what?
Hold on, I gotta take the call.
So,
Hello, police.
like, it wasn't one of the demo ones because I guess they're all attached with alarm cables and they just stop working the moment you pull them out of the store. But when you ask for an iPhone, they go into the back and get you one that's boxed up and stuff. So a guy had asked for 2 iPhone 11 Pros or whatever, the most expensive ones. And then I watched him, like, take them from the guy, and then he dropped them. I don't know whether he was about to just sprint, but fumbled them. So he, like, put them both together, but I guess the boxes slipped on each other. So they went, like, woof. And he was just, like, fumbling around on the floor, and everyone in the store looked at this guy, and he was like, and the guy helping him sort of stood back and was like, okay. And he was like, one of them rolled under a table, and he, like, picked that one up, and then he picked that one up, and everyone in the store was looking at him, and he just, like, edged towards the door and then bolted. And it was like the most awkward botched theft I've ever seen.
Was this guy by himself?
No. Then I watched another guy in the store sprint after him. I was like, oh, is that guy going to go and grab him? But they just ran off together.
What?
I hope
So
that
it's like
guy like tells that story. He's like, yeah, man, I went in there. I fucking stole 2 iPhones. It was the coolest shit
They had
ever.
no
In real life,
idea.
he's like, oh,
It was the worst steal I've ever seen. And I guess because, I mean, if you've ever worked in a store, I worked in a supermarket. I was told, don't bother stopping people when they like smash and grab shit. Just get out of their way.
Well,
They'll get caught later or whatever. So all the employees were just like, as he fumbled, honestly, it felt like it went on for about 15 seconds of him trying to pick up these phones. And then he just sprinted past everyone.
But how did you react to that?
I just watched. I was like, I wish I was filming that. Because that was crazy. And
'Cause,
they
like,
ran fast.
I know that like store employees aren't technically supposed to chase people out if they steal because that could put them in more of a danger than they need to be in. Because the person could have a weapon or
and
something.
if you hurt them, you might be sued or whatever.
liable or
I
something.
saw
like
some people like stealing PlayStation 2s from when I was working at KB Toys. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna get a shot for some fucking PlayStations. Like,
well, that's the thing. It's crazy. Is there are other places to steal iPhones from?
Like where?
Like,
let me take notes.
well, it's like if you fumble and drop them and get the entire store's attention on you.
Yeah, you could just be like, oh, sorry.
Oops, sorry.
Don't want them anymore.
And then actually, and then decide to put them back and then go to another store. Like, it's amazing. That's like, panic, run.
Yeah.
or maybe it was one of those things. Maybe he wasn't even planning on stealing them, but he was so embarrassed. He just had to go.
he wanted to leave, and then he happened to have him. Like,
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever witnessed a theft before.
that.
It was quite,
either.
I don't know. I didn't like it. It was uncomfortable.
I've done that, but I've
What
been,
have you stolen?
No, I haven't stolen, but I was with people who stole stuff.
Did you
One
know they
time.
were going to do it, or you just saw them?
No,
do it?
I was just there, and then it was over.
were you wearing the hat?
No, I wasn't wearing the hat.
Okay.
It was something like, I think it was like they
All
were.
bad things happen when Chris wears the hat.
What was it? Sorry, I was trying to scratch my head,
Hide it.
and I scratched at the top of the hat. I'm not used to wearing hats.
Is our chat effed?
Yeah, can we scroll the chat down? I think it's stuck.
I think it was one of those things where someone was like
Thank you.
trying to buy. It was like shoes or something, and they had like tried them on, and then asked for different size or something or different type, and they didn't have it, and they were frustrated, so they just walked out with the shoes. And but it was like I wasn't. They were doing their whole thing, and then we walked out. I was like, are those the shoes that you tried on? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh.
Complicit.
I didn't know it until like we were outside of the store and like in the car. I was like, oh. And then I was like, What do I need? Am I an accomplice? Like,
There's a really funny video of this prank that these guys are pulling on these shoe store employees where they get the guy to come bring the shoes out. They like try them on and then they get up and start running. And so the employee starts chasing them. But then they just do this thing where they're like, just like running back and forth to essentially test out the shoes.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're trying to escape the store with the shoes on.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Also, you could see the mini heart attack that those employees are having.
Do they try and play it off like they weren't chasing
Yeah,
them?
they do like the...
A lot of people are just like, they'll just be like, oh, like they fess up to it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Crazy times. But no, I don't think I've ever seen a robbery.
a robbery.
I've seen a
Theft?
couple. Yeah. I mean, like working in retail. I never wanted to work in food service, but working in retail, like that shit happens so often.
That was one of your chump stories, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Getting robbed.
Getting robbed twice.
Oh, I thought of another one.
That
That was an
robbery?
accomplice too.
oh.
This was
Say more crimes that you've done or been complicit in.
well, I was anyway.
Confess.
I was waiting in a car. Some friends went into groceries. No, it was a gas station. Went to a
Okay.
gas station, and then to go get something like candy or drink something. We were like traveling, road tripping type thing, and then they run into the car, start the car, and drive off. I was like, "Why are you guys running?" They're like, "Oh yeah, well, there was a guy unloading beer. We just stole some beer."
Were you driving?
No, I wasn't driving. No, I was like,
You were the lookout.
but I know it,
Chris, you're
I
the
wasn't
lookout.
looking for anything. I was just.
I thought you were the getaway driver, but
No, I wasn't even in the car. I was in the back seat. I was like, I don't need anything. Y'all go ahead. And I don't think they didn't take it out of they didn't steal from the store inside the store. There was like they stole from the what do you call those trucks? The truck that was unloading beer, and the truck was unloading beer outside of the store to go into the store.
What's that thing called?
big,
that
sometimes have
drives?
between 4 and 18 wheels.
I bet you've been involved in so many crimes that you don't actually know about. They're like, oh, Chris will do anything. Yeah, we'll tell him we're hanging out, and suddenly we're all rich.
Same with my friend Jerry.
And we don't have to give him any money.
He comes back, he's covered in red stuff. Well,
just
like,
happened
Jerry, you
to
got
be there.
paint all over you, Jerry. What'd you do?
Have you guys ever stolen anything?
Yeah, I was a dipshit in I think it was like high school or college, and I needed a cartridge, like a CO2 thing. And it was like
For like paintball or something?
it was a CO2 cartridge for paintball, but it was for something else. And then I
For
just
like
took
huffing it.
No, I didn't. All right, if we want to get into the reason I'm so self-conscious about it is because like I stole something. I feel like a piece of shit for it, and I like reasoned it with myself, and I was fucking broke at the time. But then somebody called me out, and I was like, "Yeah, I am a piece of shit." Okay, so on Han Solo's belt, he has a yeah, he's got a CO2 cartridge thing. You can tell that the prop guy was just like putting shit on, and I needed one, and I didn't have it, and I just went in and I took one out of a box full of 16 or so many, and like I think it was in like the discounted like section where like it was like damaged or missing parts. So I was just like, well, what's more.
That is what.
That was very solo of you, yeah.
Yeah,
You smuggled.
Who stole first?
I shot first. Yeah.
Yep. I stole a mootering one time.
By accident.
No, on purpose.
Yeah, you put it on.
It was one of those stores. It's like a souvenir shop, and they had like just this like tray of rings. And I put on this mootering, and I was like, "There's no." I think I was like 13 or 14 at the time, and I was like, "There's no tag on this. Like, do they know if it like leaves the store? Is there a sensor in the ring?" And I just like walked out, and I was just like, "Oh,
And you're like, oh my god,
it's black."
its color is guilty.
yeah. It's red, which means theft.
I think they were like $1.50 or something like that, but I
You
still felt like it.
Filthy klepto.
What'd you steal?
I didn't steal any stuff from a shop, but I did once vacate a restaurant without paying because all of the staff disappeared. What? Yeah, I was at a pub that did Indian food, and it was crap food. And I was in there with a couple of people, and then the waitress was just gone. And then we went to the bar, and there was no one behind the bar, and none of us had cash. We just had our cards, so it was just like
How long did you wait?
we were like 20 minutes, and we're like, "Hello," and then we just left.
Something like that happened to me one time. Actually, I have two stories.
We know about the restaurant one,
Which
right?
one?
You already told that one, didn't you?
the
Where
one.
you managed a restaurant for a small amount of time because the guy was
which
getting
also
CO2.
involves CO2.
Hey, CO2, it's the crime smell.
I'm just gonna.
crime
Yeah,
gas.
I'll give you a quick summary. I was at a restaurant, and then it was like me and like two other people. Manager or the guy working at the front of the restaurant walks out and says, "Hey, you guys know where I can get some CO2 cartridges?" And we say no. And then he goes, "Shit, okay. Well, hey, can you guys watch the place?" And then leaves. And then people start coming to the restaurant, so we go behind the counter and start telling them like, "Sorry, it can be a moment." And then the phone rings and someone's like, "Hi," and we're like, "Hi, this is blah blah blah. This is Bambino's. This is a closed restaurant
Under new management.
and they're like, "Oh, hey, where's Terry or whatever his name was?" And he's like, "Oh, he's not in right now. What can I do for you?" And they're like, "Well, I own the restaurant. Where the fuck is Terry? Like, who are you?" And then we're like, "Oh, he had to go run an errand. Sorry." And then like hang up. And then the guy comes back in like with a bunch of like Coke cans and CO2 for the soda dispenser. Is what he was looking for.
Okay.
So he comes back in with a
solo
bunch.
belt.
Yeah, not for a sun hole. Yeah, so he comes back
Popular
and
use
he's
for
like,
this.
and there's a line at this point because we didn't start. We were just at the point where we were gonna start making sandwiches. And then he's like, "Did I miss anything?" And we're like, "Yeah, so and so called the owner," and he's like, "Fuck." So that's the one time I managed a restaurant whenever there's no one there.
Yeah. Did you put that on your LinkedIn?
Managed it for 23 minutes.
The other time, and if I've told this story, stop me. I was at a bar, and it was like a very kind of like dive bar. There's one person working it, not very many people in the bar, and then the bartender was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go outside for a smoke. I'll be right back," and then left. And then like 20 minutes go by, like everyone had finished their drinks, and we're like, "Man, like I want another beer or something," like we've been here for like 20 and wait another 10 minutes, nothing, wait. And then like, it's like one of those, like there's the counter and then there's like this thing of like just beer, right? Like not even like a fridge in the back. It was like, so I was like, I reach over and I grab a Lone Star or whatever, some cheap beer. I put like, the cash on the thing and then I open it and I start drinking it. And then 10 minutes later, the bartender comes back. It's like, "Sorry about that." And I was like, "Yeah, just so you know, I got a beer. Here's the cash for it." And she freaked the fuck out. It was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I should kick all of you out of this bar right now. I could lose my liquor license for that." And I was like,
I think the whole place could lose their liquor license. for
"Yeah,"
that.
but I was also like, couldn't that happen with you leaving the bar unattended for like an hour?
You said that this was a dive bar. Was this the dive bar?
No.
Okay.
No. I could tell. It is a bar in Austin. I'm not gonna mention it on.
Sure. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, and it was a while ago.
Yeah.
But I felt bad, but also I was like, this wasn't really entirely on me.
Well, usually if there's a table there, they should be served
Yeah.
and not left alone for, what was it, half an hour?
Oh, it was a long time.
Yeah.
It was like, at least.
Especially if you're drinking.
Well, that's the thing. It's like everyone was fine because it's very kind of. It was like, and I finished. We had a full beer. She served us drinks.
Yeah.
And then left, and so like finished the drink, waited, still nothing. Waited longer. It was like, well, where is she? I think she was probably. I don't know what.
You probably would have got in less trouble if you just stole it.
Probably. She probably wouldn't even known.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't have. There's no way she would have known. But I was like, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna steal a beer.
It's stuff like this that makes me nervous to ever go out
knowingly.
It's weird shit. Just like Chris attracts weird shit.
Yeah, I'm always nervous about what Chris will or won't do. Like when we were in Fiji, I felt like I always had to keep like one eye on you to make sure you weren't going to do anything that would like embarrass us or like get us kicked out of some place.
Embarrassed to who though?
Yeah, I guess that's
In front
true.
of who?
I don't
Local
know.
Fijians.
Yeah,
Chris-
they're going to be like, look at these dumb Americans.
Like
And they
social
would've been
disorder
right.
fried your brain, and your like social awareness is just like you don't give a fuck.
I didn't have much to begin with.
You do a lot of cringy shit, and it's hard for me to be around you.
I feel like you are
sometimes.
the worst partnership because I feel like you try to be very courteous around people,
I try to be courteous too.
hyper aware sometimes, and then you're with Chris, who is very relaxed.
almost someone would say too relaxed.
I tried to be. I'm not. I don't try. I try to be very courteous. Sometimes I'm unaware of things that are not courteous.
Like, I
But
feel
in
would
order
say-
to be courteous,
I would agree with that.
you have to be aware.
there's a scenario
Yeah.
that I picture where if you go out, let's say it's like a birthday dinner, and you give Chris a present, and it's like, hey, I got you these new jeans. He'd be like, thanks. He would take off his pants at the restaurant to try them on right in front of everyone. Like, I feel like I've seen you in your boxers in places that are not appropriate.
That's just true.
I think that's a good trait, though.
Chris brings like a level of innocence that's just, it's like refreshing.
It's
in
very
this dark
refreshing.
time, but he's also like, God damn, can he make me cringe? We went to
No,
McDonald's
I love it,
not
Chris.
too.
I love it. Never change. I think going out with you is great all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
You never know what's going to happen. It is a roller coaster. I love it.
Eric eats this shit up. So I went out with you two, and you guys taught me walking tabs is okay because they just take 20% off, which is like how much I would tip anyways.
That's what
Besides
they
that
give you
point,
your
Oh,
card
does
back.
that piss people off, though? I did that
don't
by
know.
accident recently. I was like, oh, yeah, but they'll charge the tip on. But are they pissed that I just left?
hey, bartenders or people, if we walk a tab, you guys have our card, and you're going to automatically tip us 20%. Is that acceptable or not? Eric, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You were out this weekend. I was at the gym, and you were like, "Hey," we were just texting back and forth. And you said, "Hey, we're out. Come join us for drinks." And I said, "Okay." So I said, "Hey, I'm on my way." And you said, "Hey, just a heads up, Chris is out." Why did you give me a heads up that Chris is out?
Yeah.
Because
Why
I
did
didn't, because I told you that I was out with other people, then Chris was joining us.
but you
I
were
was
like,
letting-
it was,
I was
in
just
the
letting
way
you
you
know.
phrased it was like, "Hey,
Watch out.
Yeah,
Chris
just
is
giving you a heads up.
okay, all right."
But why? Why do you need a heads up?
Because I told him of the people that I was already out with, and then you were a factor that got added. So I was updating him on the status of what the fuck I was doing.
But why would you need to tell me that it's Chris? Because like it's Chris.
You didn't
Me and
want
Chris-
Blaine to experience the shock of seeing Chris?
What was I
What?
supposed to do? I'm 100% in the right here.
I want to
No, no.
say it's the term heads up.
Heads
that I
up is-
think
yeah.
The
I can
confusing
see if I
part.
can find the exact text.
Like, I also, maybe to play devil's advocate, how else would you say that?
Well,
Oh,
Chris
by
is
the
out
way,
too.
my-
Hey,
the
Chris has joined
devil?
us. Like
What
it's
is
a bonus.
this?
By the way, Chris is also here.
I'm the devil now?
You've always been the devil.
As if you don't want to be.
I'm the devil.
Oh God.
Although, if you were organizing a night out, there's like 10 people.
Yeah.
And then there was like an 11th, would you let the group know?
Yeah,
It,
I think so.
So it's just normal behavior then?
here's the problem with that heads up phrasing is that's the phrasing you give whenever you're
Something-
telling someone their ex is there.
Right.
Well, heads
It's
up
like-
comes from something is flying at your head. That's potentially dangerous.
So you got duck.
Yeah.
I thought heads up was like gambling. Like a card
Isn't it
game.
like when, I know it from sports, like if a ball's coming, it's like heads up,
Oh.
which is ironic because you usually duck.
Yeah.
I think it's more of like be aware.
I only just found out what COVID-19 means.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
Coronavirus disease?
Yeah. 2019.
2019?
That's very simple.
Oh.
Are they all named like that?
I have no idea. I
Do you
also
want to read, Eric,
don't
do you
know
want
if
to read the
that's true.
text?
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, Barbara. Yeah, okay, you off.
Go
ahead.
for it.
Oh, well, yeah. He said, yeah, we're at bar name here, but gonna bop to the next place soon. Chris is with us too. Just FYI. When you're on your
Ooh.
way, hit me up.
Just
Oh,
FYI,
interesting.
it's
That's
like
not as
Oh, interesting.
not as bad as heads
Now
up.
who is the devil?
no. I think that's worse than heads up.
He's the devil's brother.
It's still me. I'm
FYI.
the devil.
Oh, Eric, he's the devil.
Gross, stop it.
I'm a little devil.
Okay, all right.
Man, the soundboard's really getting randy tonight.
Yeah, baby.
Oh God.
We went out for drinks the other week.
Who?
Back when people could still do that.
Back when we still
Yeah.
could, yeah. Chris, I don't know where you were.
Well, I wasn't invited.
That was like what
Because
maybe
I would have
the-
had to give everyone an FYI if that was the case.
Yeah. You didn't
Yeah.
want to have to preface the invite that Chris might be there.
I feel like I rarely organize a night out, and I didn't even really do it because you took care of where we were going and all that stuff. But I sort of
Well then,
started
Barb,
it.
why wasn't I there?
Well, it's because it started on a podcast, I believe, where me and Gavin were talking about how we went out for drinks the other night when Dan was in town. And Blaine was like, oh, I love Dan. And then Gavin was like, oh, we should go out for drinks again. And so I texted just them two. And then it became a bigger group eventually.
Couples and
I remember that podcast because I was here in the studio watching, and then I remember y'all talking about it afterwards. And I said, I like Dan too. I'd like to get drinks with Dan.
Hey,
Did you
know
say
what?
that to yourself?
I said that aloud.
You
did
can
not.
fucking guilt because
I'm
you and
kidding.
Eric hang out all the time and tell me about it.
the only
And
time
now
I-
Eric's
hey,
never
hey,
going to want to
hey.
hang out with me
The
again
only-
because I outed him.
The only
can hang
time I
out.
hang out with Eric is when I get invited to parties that are not the day.
When
Bullshit.
he's
You
got
guys,
a funny hat on.
you guys had a fucking pool party at Brandon Farmahini's house, and you guys still let me know about how cool
That was
pool
not my
party
house
was.
to invite to.
That was a cool party.
Well,
That
this
was a good
bar was
party.
not my bar to invite to.
It was a cool party, pool party.
That was a fun night, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
It's a so this place we went. It's a place that does drinks and food, and so I made a reservation because I think we were a group of 8 or something like that.
Could have been 9.
Could have been 9. And we get there, we're all there, and they're like, so there's a party at your table. They've been here for 3 hours, and it doesn't look like they're finishing up anytime soon. So we're gonna sit you guys at this like little front table by like the front door of the restaurant, which sucked. But we got moved over pretty quickly, eventually to another table. But
We all looked at the other table that was there for 3 hours, and we all unanimously agreed they're all named Karen. So, they just looked
which is ironic because that entire night I had to be the fucking Karen because I
You're the
kept
group's
having to.
Karen.
I kept having to ask for stuff, and like they gave us too many tables at once, so we were super spread out. And then I had to ask to like move that table, even though they already moved us like 2 times.
And then I moved and I became a fire hazard briefly at one point.
Well, then Dan did that thing too. Where, like, they handed us out water and shit like that.
Well, okay, so, I mean, I'm a child, right?
Uh-huh.
So I went around the table, I poured everyone's water, pouring everyone's water, we're sort of running out. I did a little dribble in Dan's cup to be funny,
Yep.
sort of like half
baby,
inch. Yeah. And then I poured mine. And then he flipped it on me by taking the other bottle of water and pretty much holding it upside down in my cup, overflowing it onto the table. It went all down my legs. It was freezing, and I had a wet shoe all night.
And the moment that this happened, the waitress had walked right up behind Dan and
I
witnessed
was
this
looking
entire
at
thing.
Dan with the waitress behind him while he was like this.
But the funny thing too is right over your shoulder that Dan was like looking towards was a mirror. So he just went. And he like I've never seen Dan go from just like 60 to 0. He was just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Just having a laugh."
And she was like,
Oh, you got the accent. It's cool.
any drinks for the table?
Yeah, and I have to be like, I am so sorry. I take full responsibility for my idiot friends. We'll clean it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good night though.
It was a good night.
It was fun.
Yeah.
That was a good read. Yeah.
But just like you guys kept being like, hey Barbara, could you ask them to do this? Could
We've
you
always done that. Even when like kids are kicking pool water in our drinks,
Yeah.
you've always gone over there and sorted them out, yelling
I
at
guess
children.
I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
You never did
What are you
that.
doing later? Do you want to hang?
It's true.
Are we allowed to? Are we going to get yelled at? Or
We'll keep the 6-foot distance.
we'll hang out 6 feet away.
Just
from
don't
each
hang
other?
out around other people. Just hang around together.
Just hang out with Chris.
Yeah.
Okay,
Have you done that in his house?
not at his house.
Hey, for the most part, I want to be invited to you guys' hangouts, but I don't want to be in this one, Eric. So you don't have to give me an FYI that Chris is there.
All
I
right, no
won't go.
problem.
Thanks, dude.
I'll sometimes let you know if we hang out occasionally.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Real easy stuff.
Someone
Your
in the
sacrifice is much appreciated.
people in the comments were saying that Eric should be on Good Morning from Hell. Eric's on Good Morning from Hell more than anyone.
Yeah.
he has now been recorded in 3 episodes.
Plus his laugh is in like most of them.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part about listening to those podcasts. I love hearing people break
Yeah.
and like crack up at the jokes that people make. You guys just did one with Trevor and Alfredo. It's just really fucking funny.
So fucking good.
it
People
has
should
my
check that one out.
that one has my favorite ending of I think any episode. Because we try to make each episode have like a different like ending that also feels conclusive.
Yeah.
And that one has my favorite, I think.
I like the John Jacob Gyllenhaal
Have you-
Smith episode.
Have you been on it, Kevin?
No, not yet.
No,
should be on it.
You won't
he
respond
never.
to emails.
Yeah, he didn't respond to my emails. And then
In my defense, I never got it.
Is your email still not on?
No.
I guess I should just text you.
Yeah, you can text me. Sure.
What are you doing next week?
Hiding.
Probably.
Do you have a mic at home?
I do.
All right then.
I need to bring home a mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're working on solutions to be able to still record some stuff if we need to be at home.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Achievement Hunt is pretty set. Every gamer on YouTube does it from their own home typically anyway.
Right. Well, that's like we were talking today about how like you guys in Funhouse, like you could still play video games and stuff remotely and interact and record that way. But a lot of the stuff we do is as a group in person because we don't have gaming on our channel.
Each buy a red camera, right? And just frame the shot on you, and then it'll just all cut together.
I was actually planning on writing a script that was something along those lines. Like that idea has been pitched out in our group.
We were talking about filming a short, but each from our own places.
I have to say, I'm really proud of our group. Like the group that showed up today, we like banged out a lot of videos. And I'm also really happy, like, big shout out to Achievement Hunter. They're letting me take home a pair of their dumbbells because I'm not going to the gym anymore, and John Reisinger is not either. Like, we both agree that that's probably not the best idea. Plus, most gyms are being closed anyways, and I'm sure Austin's going to do that too, which is good.
Could you just, like, go out and build, like, a nature gym? Like, find a rock that's good to lift and, like, climb a real wall and shit like that?
There's a lot of bodyweight stuff that I intend to do, and I have, like, resistance bands and things like that, and a lot of resources for body. And, like, there's, like, a dude named... Charles Bronson, he was not the famous actor, but the prisoner, wrote a book about how you can do weight training in solitary confinement.
There's a movie intro.
Yeah.
That's just, I can't remember what, I think you showed me this movie intro that's just a dude working out in the woods with like logs.
Oh, that sounds like something I would do.
It's like I think it's a Schwarzenegger or Stallone movie.
Oh, no. You're thinking of Commando. He's chopping down a tree.
That's what.
I think the reason I showed you that is because it's the exact same entrance as God of War. They're cutting down trees.
Oh,
God of War is a damn good game.
It's fucking great.
I started playing Stardew Valley over the weekend.
Another damn good game.
I texted Gus. I was like, "Hey, should I play Stardew Valley?" And he was like, exclamation mark, "Yes, Chris." And I was like, I've never seen Gus. He's like,
enthusiastic.
I really fucked up with Stardew Valley.
Well, that's the thing is he was like, that's the perfect game. It's like so casual and blah 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 blah. I was
calming.
like, yeah, and I was like, good, because I was either that or the Zelda Island remake. No, not Breath of the Wild. What's the one where he's on the island? Link's Awakening.
Link goes to Fiji.
Yeah, basically. And it was like, he's like, Link's Awakening is a lot shorter, so I would do Stardew Valley. And well, I don't know if I should say how many hours he said that he'd put into it.
I'm gonna guess
into Stardew.
I'm gonna guess 200.
A lot more.
500.
A lot more.
1,000.
Yeah. I mean, that's an estimate, he said.
Wait, what year is he on?
I don't know. I don't even know there was years. I haven't played the game. I only just started it last night.
So don't do what I do, or what I did, rather, when I played Stardew Valley. And I know I've told the story on the podcast before, but I'm telling you now, Chris.
Yeah, you said you fucked it up. How'd you fuck it up?
So there is a chest that you have outside your house.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was to store things. It's not.
What is it?
No, it's the selling chest.
The mayor comes by every night and sells it all.
Yeah. I've just been like making things and like building things up and just being like, okay, my inventory's full. Let me put it in my chest.
Well, at least you're making money.
And I'm like, ooh, this thing is really valuable. Let me definitely put it in my chest for safekeeping.
The mayor comes by at the beginning of the game and says, "Oh, by the way,"
I skipped through all that shit, man.
You got to be in the right mindset to start a game. If you're in the wrong mindset, you're going to be skipping all that.
I think I was on a plane or something, and I was like, I just want to get into like.
I mean, a lot of the time you do want to sell stuff.
Yeah. I need to, I think, restart completely.
Yeah, just do it again.
From scratch.
I got into Breath of the Wild in a similar-ish thing. That is the greatest fucking game of our time. Game. It is incredible, and I'm loving
it. Of our time? Of all of our time?
Honestly,
of our time.
Gavin?
Yeah.
Have you played it?
Yeah.
You don't agree?
It's good. I wouldn't say it's the best of our time.
It's one of the greatest games, asterisk, of our time. It's really good.
I will say this. I'm like a total like classic person, so like all my favorite games are like the ones I played when I was growing up.
He's like a little retro boy.
Right. And then when I played that game, I was like, I think this might be my favorite game of all time.
Really?
Like, it like superseded like everything. And I like my favorite Zelda game I think was Link to the Past. You know, it's like I hadn't had, and then before that it was the original Zelda. So like I hadn't had a favorite Zelda before that. And then 64 was the third. But anyway, yeah, and I was like, this is better than all of them.
Well, going back to what Barbara said about like throwing our resources away, at one point I got this like really fucking sick sword. I was like, yeah, this is gonna last me for a while. And then I threw it at an enemy, and then it just shattered, or like it like fell into some water, and I couldn't magnetize it out. And I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
It is a good game. I really enjoyed it at the time that I was playing it, but looking back on it, I don't think it's in my top 3. But I did really like it
Interesting.
for sure.
Yeah.
And Doom's coming out soon too.
I just got butterflies. I'm so fucking like before all this Corona stuff was going down. I had specifically, I knew that Japan, well, I guess it wasn't before. So anyways, Japan got canceled and I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to go to Japan, but I am going to ask off for Doom. So I'm taking off like days to just play Doom.
You didn't get my joke.
What do you mean?
Well, okay, first of all, initially it wasn't a joke, but I texted Blaine on Friday saying, Happy Doom Day. And he was like, oh, Doom doesn't come out till next week. I was like, oh, sorry. Wait, never mind. It's still Doom Day because of like, that was like Friday was like whenever it was US declared Corona as an emergency. So I was like, well, it still applies. And he was like, are you drunk?
Wait, which,
Chris shows up at your house with his hat on.
I'm confused. Which one did you think it was?
I thought it was Doom as in the game. Because Blaine has been talking about it nonstop.
He's a good friend. He's like wishing you a happy Doom Day. Even though
Here's
he's
the
wrong.
like
but
within the context of the conversation, like it was all just business talk. Because Chris and I are basically like a couple going through divorce at this point. Like relationship strain. There's no more love or romance in bed anymore. We just do it out of necessity. So like for him to drop a joke, I was just like, oh no, you're mistaken. I'm sorry, Chris. And he was like, no, it's a joke. And I was just like,
no. To be fair, initially it wasn't a joke.
Okay.
Initially I was just saying Happy Doom Day because I knew you'd been looking forward to it.
okay.
And you said, oh, it comes out next week. And then I was like, oh, well, it can still apply. And then you're like, I don't understand. It comes out next week. And I was like, no, because of like the U.S. declared a national emergency. Never mind.
I think I stopped responding at that point, or maybe just at like a lone lull.
yeah,
And then you text Eric, FYI, Chris won't stop texting me.
I'm so glad you didn't get the joke just so we got this conversation and you explained it 4 times.
Yes, I'm so happy.
Love it.
It's, I think my favorite conversation to ever be had on the podcast.
RTAA that. You know, there was an RTA. It was one of the first times I was on the podcast where we're talking about my apocalypse jacket.
Yeah.
I wonder if I should go get it.
What is your apocalypse jacket?
It's a duster. I donated it to Wardrobe, but it's a duster. Okay, so if you go and watch Terminator 1.
Is it here? Go and get it.
It is. If you go, wait, like right now?
Get it for the post show.
I'll get it for the post show. If you watch Terminator 1, Kyle Reese wears this like duster, and it's the exact same fucking duster.
Didn't you have a hat on that too?
No, I don't think I did have a hat.
Maybe in the RTA you did.
Terminator
Maybe.
1's a good movie.
Terminator 1 is so fucking good.
I watched it again recently. All of the exposition is like on the move. It's like all of the information Kyle Reese is like saying while screaming, in a fast moving vehicle. And it's
the best way to.
Yeah, it's like, damn, this movie doesn't slow down at all.
No.
It is just intense. And like there's like it's 2 things. It's got one of the best transitions ever. Kyle's like laying in a car and he's like near a construction site and he's just kind of like falling asleep and he looks at this tractor like claw machine thing and then it like zooms in on the tire treads and then it like tilts down and it's on skulls and then we're in the future and it's like, whoa, that was so fucking cool.
Yeah, Cameron loves the skull, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves the skulls.
I think I want to use this time by working at home more to catch up on a lot of movies I've never seen.
I'm gonna hit you up.
Like I hear from all of you guys all these movies, and every time I'm like, I've never seen that. I always get
You
the
never seen
reaction.
Terminator?
Could you?
It's a big dong at the beginning.
But like, I would love a list from you guys
Dude,
of like the must watches of old movies and things that I should have seen by now.
I mean, the majority of the shit I'm gonna send you is like, you saw Predator because of my birthday.
All from the 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Could
I'll
you
be like,
imagine
Terminator?
seeing Terminator and not knowing that Schwarzenegger,
Terminator 2?
2, and not knowing Schwarzenegger was the good guy?
That would have been fucking mind blowing. Because they set it up. I watched that the other day. I watched Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 the
Did
other
I
day.
just spoil something for you, Barb?
You
Why would
spoiled
you do
everything
such a
for
thing
me.
without me playing? That's fine.
Oh, the other thing about Terminator 1, in the car chase, when the Terminator's in like a pickup truck or semi-truck, at this point his flesh has been ripped off part of his eye, and he's got the red, robot eye. Even in like the farthest, widest shots, Terminator's super far back, but they went back and remastered it, he's got that red eye.
Oh, really?
They put the stuntman to have a red eye.
It's badass.
It's like, that's attention to detail. I can't chef's kiss.
I
because
tell
the
you what, though,
writers.
you know what's not chef's kiss is any stop motion in any movie doesn't hold up.
Never. Name a movie.
From like the 80s.
Jason and the Argonauts is still cool.
Is that the skeleton one?
Yeah, it's the skeleton
It's
one.
cool. It was cool at the time.
I got another one.
You ever seen Wallace and Gromit?
The whole damn thing. It's
Yeah, that doesn't
you're never
count.
you're never 40 minutes into a Wallace and Gromit movie and like, shit, look at the stop motion.
I got another one. Indiana Jones.
What's the stop motion?
Oh, the face melt.
The face melt.
That's not
I'd
stop
say it's
motion.
more of
It
a
is
time
stop-
lapse than a stop motion.
You are correct. It's anti slow mo, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fast mo.
That's
I mean, they weren't there like affecting stuff between exposures.
Okay, I guess
were
you're
just-
right. Yeah.
They blowtorch
melting
a
shit.
candle
and
wax
then
head.
let it melt.
So fucking rad.
There's
Yeah.
a guy on Instagram who does the most incredible stop motion claymation stuff.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I gotta find him. I want to say his name is like Veriker or something like that. I'm looking it up, so feel free to.
You're totally right though. The exoskeleton or the endoskeleton thing. It's just like
I wonder if they could use technology now to sort of like tween the frames better because it's just very jarring. It's just at a lower frame rate. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You go from 24 to like 16 or something. It's like
big news for folks listening at home while we're talking about Schwarzenegger and great movies. For the little big news, Eric, I heard you reiterate it. So what is big news?
Big news.
True Lies. Apparently Cameron
yeah.
has been having a hard time just approving the Blu-ray release, like updating visuals.
Well, I think I read a thing. He said, "Hey, I know everyone wants True Lies,
Yeah.
but I'm busy making avatars."
So, like, the only way you can watch True Lies, at least a week or two ago, was you could get it on an old DVD from, like, the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was, A, really expensive, and B, shit quality, because there's no Blu-ray or digital. HBO Go has fucking True Lies, and I watched the first 15 minutes, so I'm going to watch the rest of it tonight. The movie fucks so hard.
That's another one I've never seen.
True
Oh,
Lies
True Lies is so
rules.
good.
It is the best action comedy.
I need this list.
It's the
the one
best
with,
movie of our time, Gavin.
is that the one with Tom Arnold in it?
It is. Also, brilliant casting, like,
That's
awesome,
a good movie.
Awesome
That's a good
chemistry.
Good movie.
Fuck, that movie rules.
So I'm curious to know, legitimately, what you guys think is going to happen in the next couple of weeks.
Well, can I go
This
get a
is the
beer
last.
first?
This is the final podcast. We're gonna cancel it after this one.
No.
It's not true. Gus said he wants to keep doing live podcasts as long as we can.
I just feel like all it's gonna do, all this thing is gonna do, we're gonna come out the other side of it, and we're all gonna realize that no one needs to go to work. No one needs an office. Everyone who works in an office will work from home, and then just people who have actual jobs, like people in retail or in hospitals and stuff,
Or
they'll
food
still
or
have
whatever it is.
places to go, and everyone else will just work remotely.
Interesting. I don't know if you guys saw.
There'll be no meetings anymore.
Marcus made a tweet that kind of covered some of that, and that thing went super viral. Like it was on, I think, Bernie Sanders.
Phrasing.
It was very popular. The tweet was, let me find it real fast here. Things COVID has proven. Number one.
Did you get sauce?
What is wrong with you?
He just
Chris.
came running back laughing with sauce.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
What happened?
I just ran to go get some beer, and there's that fridge back there, and
Yeah.
it's like dark because the fridge doesn't have
I
a
would say
light.
he's had
If
enough.
this story is he went in the fridge and found sauce, and that's what's funny, my mind's gonna explode.
That's not what
Okay.
happened. So I the light for the fridge doesn't turn on, so it's pitch dark. And I fumble around and I feel there's a beer. There's two beers. Okay, cool. And I fumble more and I find a jar. And in my head, it was, these are those alcoholic cherries. And
What
so-
else could be in a fridge?
Well, it's a fridge with all it has in it is beer. There's a big keg and beer.
There's some other stuff in there, I think, too.
Well, apparently there's pasta sauce. Because I thought, I was like, this is probably those alcoholic cherries because or what do you call that, peach schnapps or something, or
Moonshine.
or moonshine. I was like, I thought it was something like that because that's the feeling of the jar.
A mason jar.
Yes. So I grabbed the jar thinking it's some sort of alcohol, and I don't realize it's pasta sauce until I come onto the set. So that's why I was
Really quick. To recap, Gavin said if the story is that Chris found pasta sauce and thought that was funny, and that's the story.
You went, no.
Well, no,
That
because
is the story you just told.
no, Blaine, that's not because I didn't.
If I were to write the synopsis to this movie on IMDb, I would say man laughs because he finds pasta jar sauce.
No, because
Pasta sauce
Also, why
jar.
did you bring it anyway?
no,
Even if
because
it was
that's
cherry?
what I'm saying. The
It was only
difference.
when it came into the light.
That's why it was different. I didn't see it in the fridge. Say pasta sauce. This will be good.
I understand.
So I didn't intentionally grab pasta sauce.
But what you're saying is you were intending to bring some alcoholic cherries onto the set.
Yes, or
Okay.
or peach.
Some peach.
But when he
moonshine.
came into
The light. That's I didn't realize it until I got here. That's why I was laughing. That's the
Look,
difference.
I'm not gonna lie. It's not funny, but it's exactly what I described.
should I read this tweet now?
What you guys?
What were we talking about?
Viral tweet.
This tweet, essentially like talking about what's going to happen the next couple weeks. But he said, the job you were told couldn't be done remotely can be done remotely. Many disabled workers could have been working from home, but corporations just didn't want them to. Internet is a utility, not a luxury, and universal healthcare is necessary.
Holy shit, Marcus. That thing blew up.
This has 138,000 retweets and 426,000 likes.
That might be the most liked tweet in the company.
It might be. I think Bernie Sanders, his Instagram account, posted that too.
Oh,
Yeah,
Because I think people I follow through like knowing them from home post that tweet.
he's not wrong, except about number 4. That would never work.
What was number?
That would never work here.
What was number 4?
Universal
Something about
healthcare.
healthcare.
Oh,
Nah, bullshit.
But essentially, what you're saying is like I think there's a lot of things that could be done remotely that we just didn't really
Yeah,
put the effort into figuring out until now.
yeah. I feel like everyone's been using the internet the whole time. Everyone's also been working, and then you realize that when you can't work, the internet is extremely useful in ways that it never was, and so much like any meeting ever can be done without meeting.
Yeah, but that sucks. I hate meeting remotely.
Do you prefer like going
person.
somewhere in your car and?
I mean,
If I'm here anyway.
90% of my meetings are when I'm already at work. I just hate the whole like, sorry, no, go, oh, no, sorry, go ahead. Sorry, no, go ahead. Yeah. Hey, can you guys hear me? No.
Oh.
I hate it.
Are you on the phone though, or are you in like a Hangout
Either
web
one.
browser-y?
Either one. There's always a slight delay and always that slight awkwardness of like people talking at
sure.
the same time.
I mean, I don't like any of them.
I just
I like a
prefer to
good
be
email.
in person for meetings like that. I feel like things get done quicker.
I will say this. There's a lot of politicians and people saying, look, we have to approve funding for, it's the last thing, I'm going to stop being political. We have to approve funding for health and for coronavirus and to stop the saying this is important because people are dying. People die all the time from healthcare, but we never have enough money whenever it's about like universal healthcare. We never have the money for that, but we have the money for I don't know, bailing out, the stock market or anything else, or for emergency thing when people's lives are always on the line with healthcare stuff, but we never have the money until it becomes a thing where they don't have the kits.
Well, didn't they
or
just
it's a
give
political thing.
$1.5 trillion to what was it?
Well, it was like injecting money into the stock
market?
Yeah. Anyway, you guys want to do some shots of
No, Chris.
for oregano,
What, is that what-
marinara sauce?
What flavor? What's in the sauce?
We
got onion. We got
classic
garlic sauce.
organic
Oh, it's just
tomato,
classic.
herbs, and spices. So it's gonna be good.
Is that Prego? Are you announcing that you're pregnant, Chris?
Yeah.
Prego.
But anyway, if you want to do a shot, it's gonna be like a what do you call those drinks with the tomato juice?
Bloody
Bloody
Mary.
Mary.
It'd be like a Bloody Mary, but like thick.
I love Bloody Marys.
Like bled out Mary, congealed.
Ugh. Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh
to
wait,
answer your
that.
Huh?
Well, wait, no, that's a different Mary. Sorry, you said Jesus and I
Virgin
said
Mary.
Virgin Mary.
There
I was
you
thinking
go.
Virgin
That should be
Mary.
a drink too.
to answer your question, I feel
A
like
Virgin Bloody Mary.
Well, Virgin Mary is just a boozeless Bloody Mary, isn't it?
Yeah.
it could
Sorry, go ahead, Blaine.
action. It could go one of two ways in the next.
Sorry,
couple
I wasn't
of
ready.
weeks,
Go
I
again?
feel like no, you okay? I feel like in the
action.
next couple of weeks,
Second sticks. Go get.
right? And it could go one or two ways. I feel like
Yeah.
either people start taking it seriously, and yeah, we might in 2 weeks still be in quarantine and stuff like that. But that'll end shortly, and we're going to be back to normal for the most part. Like, I think we're going to slowly like get our way back into public events and like meeting up in, you know, groups and things like that. But like eventually we're going to get back on track, and it's going to be like the swine flu or whatever, SARS, where it's just like, that was just a shitty memory, but now we know how to prepare for it in the future. Or
but this is like the first global shutdown that I've been a part of. Like, I want to see what it does to the environment. Like,
I think it's going to do nothing but good. I mean, honestly, like that's the one upside.
well, I mean,
feel
you've
like
got less people traveling, so I guess less CO2. But you've also
didn't
got
they show
more people using.
maps of what happened to China with the CO2?
Yeah, the carbon footprint was just
like
But I mean, more
completely-
people in their homes probably using more electricity at home.
True.
But I want to see what that does, and there might be a bunch of boomer babies.
Me and Trevor were just talking about that because his birthday's in December, and he's just like, I wonder how many kids are going to be born in December.
That's what Kelly said. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a lot of people fucking.
He's just like, I'm going to share my birthday with so many people.
I don't know.
Because they can't be around each other.
But also, like, I wonder what it'd be super interesting to get the analytics of something like Tinder.
Oh, how is that going to work anymore? I mean, I'm
Well, because it's not like, here's the deal, is like on a first date, you don't meet at someone's house, you meet in a public space.
Then I feel like people are probably just going to be
They
just
go to,
in
like,
the DMs for a while.
A park or something. They could
Yeah,
go
you
for like
could
a
do a
walk
park.
together.
I feel like
But
the
you're like, hey, let's go to this park where
But
no
also,
one
like, you
it's
can't
still
trust
creepy.
anybody.
That's the thing is like this is almost like I mean it's like an STD in some parts because it's just like you kind of have to just like trust that the other person hasn't come in contact with somebody else.
Or maybe people just won't
And it
meet
won't
for a
transmit.
while. Maybe we'll find out if love is blind.
Fuck that show.
That show.
No, dude, it's so fucking bad that it's good.
I texted Meg. I was like, "Fuck you."
So I've been, because I'm always on the podcast with frickin' Barbara and Jeff, and they talk about trash, like literal garbage television. So I was like, I've got to watch one of these. I watched Love is Blind. That show.
To be fair, that's the worst one to do.
Is it?
Yeah, like I think Bachelor in Paradise is fucking phenomenal because it's just a bunch of horny, good-looking people. It's so much drama.
This show was like
There's not enough drama on this show.
watching people's lives get ruined by a production company.
really quick for those of you at home, Love is Blind is a Netflix reality TV show where they take like I don't know how many people is it.
I want to say it's
18?
like 8 and 8, like 8 women, 8 men.
8 women and 8 men, and then they put them into pods, and the pods are next to each other, but they're separated by a wall of blue light, and they can't see through, and they basically just have to literally
I would
blind
say it's
date.
more of a window.
Yeah,
They can't
you just
see each
can't,
other.
you can't
Like
see
frosted
through.
glass.
But you could hear each other.
Right, so they blind date, and then like they basically propose to the person through the thing, and then they
Wait.
meet. And
Wait,
then
how long?
they see
How
each
long
other.
are they apart?
There was. I don't want to
They're
get
apart
into details.
until they propose. So
Wait, but what if they don't want to propose?
Then they
Then they don't.
go
leave, which not everybody makes it, but there's like 5 or 6 couples that
there
make
was one
it.
couple that proposed to each other
5
after
days.
I think it was 4 days. Regardless,
They're actually my favorite ones. I'm hoping not. Well, I'm only halfway.
I
through
won't
the
spoil
season.
anything for you.
But yeah, no, like I think Meg put my girlfriend on it, and we've been watching it.
I'm sorry,
and
man.
Fucking suffering, and I texted
Well-
Meg. Oh,
But do you kind of like it a little bit?
Here,
I have to see what happens because I need to know.
here's what I'll say.
I watched the first 2 episodes and I skipped to the end.
Really?
Because I was just like, well, I also
You missed some good
I
shit.
skimmed through to see everyone seeing each other and like some of the drama. I didn't watch full episodes because I was like, an hour each is just too much.
Dude, the breakups that happen are fucking hilarious.
I will
and
say
awful. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
All right, tell us what you're gonna say.
If they're gonna proposing isn't much. They need
Glory hole.
They need a someone to marry them. Like get it legally binding.
Oh,
because that
is what it leads up to.
No, wait, really?
They have
Like-
they get engaged and then they take him on this like thing.
But they see each other after the proposal, and then like a month later get married.
yeah.
But then they go through these things where like they spend their first overnight together. They meet the families together. They essentially are building
so they
up
stay
to a
with
wedding. Yeah, they
Okay.
stay together.
well, some of them do. Some of them not
because there's
so
like
lucky.
an episode or 2 in, there's already a couple that gets engaged, and so they see each other.
Yeah. But if they're still, they're great. You like those ones. The thing is like they keep fucking you up by like luring you in with these 2 or 3 successful couples, and they're like, yeah, these guys are great. And then they have these like trash shit couples that are clearly destined for disaster. And like that's the ones that make you cringe and want to die on the
yeah, but you
inside.
see those in real life too.
Especially the couples that were
Yeah.
just like, well, he didn't want to see me anymore, so I guess I'll settle for you and say yes to your
I proposed
proposal.
to this other guy, and also I'm drunk all the time.
Yeah, a lot of alcohol.
like this.
I don't
Reality
know.
show sucks. Reality TV sucks.
All right, here. If you were in a scenario where you had to propose to someone in a week, or you'd have to live alone for a year, like no sex,
Live alone for a year.
Yeah, live alone.
Okay,
I mean, what are we talking about? We proposing and then going through,
yeah. You got to do the whole marriage,
and you got to
thing,
find someone in 1 week.
You have 1 week.
You're never going to find that person in a week. You need to see
But I'm just saying,
how your lives
you have to go a
fit
year,
together.
a
Unless
year,
you're like Barbara
with-
and Trevor, it's not going to happen.
or you have to go a year without like any sexual contact or anything. So it's like you gotta.
So it's the coronavirus, essentially, you're going through.
It seems like something that shouldn't be rushed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point of the scenario. It is rushed.
Well, is it,
I would
in
do
your,
the year probably.
in your scenario, though, are we in our current situations? Like, am I dating?
You're
Trevor?
single.
Okay.
You're single. It doesn't count if you're already in a relationship. This is a I'm single scenario.
There are definitely, and this is getting a little maybe too personal, but I don't care. There are times where me and Trevor accidentally call each other like wife or husband or like something like that. We're just like we're referring to each other.
What?
Just because like
To
we're
each other?
like-
Hey, wife. Hey, husband. What?
You might like in
not
a
in that kind of
conversation
context.
describing your partner, they might slip, right?
Yeah, it's just like we haven't actually done, but we've said like, oh, I've come close to being like, oh, my husband. Nope,
So
you're my boyfriend.
So when
still.
Trevor is like going to introduce you to somebody, he's like, "This is my wife."
my wife. We already have agreed. I was like, the second we get married, the next morning, you need to there's a reference to a TikTok that we both saw where this guy, he has this phone as the perspective of his wife. And he's like waking up and it's this really nerdy looking kid. And he goes, oh, hello, wife. And I was like, if you don't say that to me the first thing in the morning, the day after we get
I
married.
mean, aren't you legally married if you refer to someone as your wife here? Or
I think
husband?
it's after a certain period of time, isn't it?
No, technically you have to share a bank account and refer to each other as husband and wife in public.
Is that and that's common law?
Yeah.
Here's my thing with that scenario.
Common law, you have to share a bank account and talk to say.
Everyone's bullshitting at the beginning.
What do you mean?
There's no true colors showing through
Are you talking about in this reality show or in real life?
in real life.
Oh, okay, keep going.
Like everyone's just like on best behavior. It's not a true representation of what the relationship
That
will
is
be
for
like.
people who get engaged within like a month or so. Like we're so in love. You know, like the people who get married after like 6 months.
Yeah.
That's risky. It might be fine, but I feel like you don't really know someone until like a year, and then you don't really know what they're like until you live with them.
I feel like
I'm not saying they're lying in the first week. I'm just saying
You are getting the best of
they're
someone.
trying to be their best person, which
It's
I
the
don't
same
know
with
that-
long
is
distance
sustainable, I
relationships.
guess, over like 4 years. You're not going to be the same
Like, it's
person
not
after
like
4 years.
You're not gonna fart in someone on a fart in front of someone in a first date. You might
Yeah.
if you've been dating for like a year.
You're not going
Right?
to laugh at sauce on the first date, but maybe like in a month.
Unless you're Chris.
Shots.
no.
Sauce.
I don't know if that's the case because like I mean,
That's the case.
Well, did you and Trevor, you guys like because you guys knew each other previously, so did you guys?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I think Gavin has a point to an extent of like you are trying to impress this person, so I think both people put in a little more effort in terms of like how they present themselves and trying to like plan nice dates and be extra funny and interesting, and especially since you're learning about each other. But I don't know, every relationship has been different. For me and Trevor, we were like super honest right off the bat because it's like we work together, we just want to make sure we're on the same page when it comes to everything going on. And like I, especially having been in a lot of long-term relationships, know the value of just being like completely upfront with how I'm feeling. And if like something that this person does bothers me, like I want them to know right away, or if something like that they do isn't going to work for me, like I want to work that out sooner rather than later in a relationship. So like we were super upfront about all that stuff. So I felt like we knew each other very quickly. But I think, of course, every relationship you're trying to put your best foot forward
Yeah. Well,
right off the bat.
That's great that you all are honest at the very, very top, but a lot of people aren't.
Right.
You know, and also like even being honest, there's still like you still have that settle like you forget the little things that you might hide unintentionally.
Like pissing on the carpet.
Yeah. You have to be aware to hide that. I didn't hide it.
I feel like I'm being pretty transparent.
I didn't hide it
with my partner.
In fact, I didn't know about it. I only hid it for myself, Gavin.
And I think that has probably a lot to do with the fact that she's also a very transparent person.
Yeah.
I think like you tend to emulate the person you're with to an extent. Like if they feel comfortable opening up, you'll feel more comfortable opening up.
Yeah.
But if you have someone that's very closed off and like a little more to themselves, you might not feel the freedom to be completely yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably
We've been like really comfortable and open about a lot of stuff. Like we've gotten into deep conversations that I haven't gotten into this
Hey, Blaine.
early on.
Sorry,
Hey, what
sorry.
up?
I didn't
I'm
mean,
happy for you.
I'm happy for you too. I didn't mean to laugh during that, but I read someone's comment. 2 of my older siblings didn't marry, and I laughed because I was like,
That's you're talking about it to each other?
yeah. But they were talking about a relation. Their separate relationships. But
Did you drink some of that sauce before you got
No.
on the set?
Chris sounds fucking wasted.
I'm not. You can count the beers I've had. This is my 3rd beer,
Lightweight.
and this isn't even a full beer. I'm like here. So
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Very happy for you, Blaine.
Oh, thanks.
You seem very happy, and that makes us very happy.
Yeah, that's good times. Well, I guess the only thing that we have been doing is we've been trying to be like workout fanatics, so we both look good for each other.
is it competitive?
Not competitive because she's
Nah.
a personal trainer, so
But
like
you're competitive in everything, Blaine,
it's true. But she's like, I'm actually like,
because you're losing.
what?
Because you're
Well,
losing.
are you okay,
To her?
Chris?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
she's
who
super.
who looks better?
Well, just in fitness.
To my girlfriend?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's a personal trainer. She knows a lot more
So
about the.
you're losing.
Yeah, sure.
All right, don't put this in his head, Chris. He's so happy. They're in a
What are you
good spot.
doing?
I'm just saying.
He's not happy that I'm happy, so he's trying to like plant seeds of doubt into my mind. Yeah. I don't know.
No, I think you're
I think
both
it's good to have someone who challenges you.
Yeah. Well, like John met her for the first time at ABP the other day, and he was telling me about the experience today because basically we got into a fight right in front of him where he was like, we were talking and stuff like that, and I just finishing out by doing assisted pistol squats, which are these things you grab these ropes and then you lower yourself down and like you just use them for support. You don't like lean on them,
It's like a one-legged squat.
but it's a one-legged squat.
Your other leg is out.
But Kelly was just like hanging out on him. And I was like, do you mind if I use those real quick? I was gonna use those in pistol squats, assisted pistol squats. And she's like, you don't need assistance. You do them on your own. I was like, I mean, yeah, but like I want to use it. She's like, just finish it out. Just do pistol squats. And I'm like, getting into the fight about it. She's like, I just want to use those things. And she's like, don't be a bitch, just do it. So then I start like doing pistol squats while she's like correcting my form, and John's just like sitting there watching us like fight over fitness. And it was like the stupidest debate, but it was
So
cool.
great.
Yeah.
John texted me this weekend because he had met her, I guess, for the first time. And John wrote me, let me pull up the text. He wrote, where'd it go? Hold on. I swear I had this text. Oh yeah, he said, I finally met Blaine's girlfriend today. And I was like, yeah. And he said, I don't know if my fragile self-image can stand being around her and Blaine too much.
FYI, Chris is not there.
Thank you, Chris.
That probably would have made John feel better if you were.
It's a good looking couple.
Ah, thanks.
I was like, it's like Buff, Barbie, and Ken.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's like when you're creating a character and you just put the fitness slider all the way up and you can't go any further with it.
Yeah,
on both
and
of
also
them.
the good looks.
You put all.
the way.
Well, I haven't met her yet, but you put all your attributes in strength and none in intelligence.
How
So this is just to you.
You're just saying that she's a dumb
No,
person?
I'm saying this to you.
You call my girlfriend dumb?
I'm telling you that you're dumb. I haven't met her yet, so I don't know. But I'm saying you're dumb.
how hesitant are you to introduce Chris to Kelly?
Very. Yeah. I think like
Just send her an FYI.
now I was excited for her to meet John, and like she already knows like fucking half of my friends because she trains most of you guys. But
Yeah, even when I met her, she sees Meg all the time, so
so she
I was
knew
like
a
kind of
lot about you
worried.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works out well.
Yeah. It was a nice fit. Yeah, I don't know if I wanted her to meet Chris just yet. Like I gotta ramp into that.
I'm sure we'll have an update on a podcast in the future.
It's kind of like, like there's like those movies where it's like, one guy's bringing his girlfriend home to meet the family, but little does, he's got a stupid brother that's going to fuck the whole thing up. And that's like,
I wouldn't watch that movie. That sounds like a shitty movie.
Well, you would star in that movie as the shitty brother.
We should make this as a video. You bring her to work. Chris is at work, FYI. And then
Probably doesn't have his pants on.
and then they just both go into a room for an hour. And then you just have to film it, but you can't interact with the room.
But so she can basically interview him and then he could tell her whatever.
Or the other way around, or anything. It's just, that's it.
Do we have to make it an hour? Because I don't know if I want
hour's
Chris
a long
around
time.
anymore
I like
for
that.
1
I
hour.
like that an hour. An hour's good.
Like, how? Let's do like 15 minutes.
Should we have some rules?
No, because
No, it has to be enough time for them to run out of conversation and get bored. And then it gets real.
Should we have some ground rules here? Chris, you can't wear your stupid fucking boots.
Yeah.
You can't bring any pasta sauce.
No pasta sauce. No alcohol. I mean,
There can be alcohol.
No, there can be alcohol.
she might come out and
No
Crystal will be a
bandana.
changed person because she'll be like,
What if Chris came out
lightened?
normal?
He's just,
He comes out without the hat.
yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
hello,
I
Blaine.
should have worn my boots.
I need to go look
This
at
is the
my
one time I feel like
401k.
my boots would have looked okay. Sorry, I've got some white boots I've been wearing. That would have been good with the hat.
Fucking
On
moron.
me.
We will have to pause production because Chris has to go change into his boots to wear them on a video that we're filming. I hope everyone could see them someday.
They will.
Oh, they will.
Okay, when
Sorry.
when Chris meets Kelly, can I be there?
Oh, Eric? No, you're going to be a separate day.
We'll all be there. I
Oh,
think
and then me and Eric can hang out.
nice. It all works out.
Yeah.
And Chris could hang
And we'll
out.
see a
If you want
movie
to
in
make this
D-Box.
video, I'll make this video. It's nothing to me.
I'll have to ask her, and then I mean, you're the creative lead, so you know if this is a video worth
Dude,
making.
I'm all about this.
Yeah. All right.
Although I don't want to scare her off because she's also my trainer. So I'm like,
Yeah.
don't leave me.
It's like my weird dysfunctional family. Yeah. Once all the Corona shit dies down, maybe.
Well, we don't have to we can keep space.
What do you mean?
I'm saying we don't have to hug.
I mean, you're a bit of a hugger, dude.
I'm not a hugger. I'm just saying we can keep our recommended distance and still do the video. In fact, we could even we could do like prison style where we have a glass window between us.
Like a blue
like, the
light through
phone.
it?
Well, that just makes it seem like I'm overly protective of my girlfriend or you. They must be protected.
We
She
can do.
walks into the room and Chris is behind glass with a phone.
No. Chris is all bundled up and he's got one of those Hannibal
He's in
Lecter masks.
I'm Chris's. I'm Blaze. I'm Blaze's friend, Chris.
Hello, Kellys.
The door just locks behind her. Enjoy.
Quid pro quo.
Oh my God! They fixed the rug. One good thing came out of this virus.
What?
Did.
What happened to the rug?
It's the right way around
It was
again.
flipped for a long time. I think
That was
longer than-
Nicholas. He fixed it.
Hey, good
At least
job,
one thing's
Nicholas.
good. One thing's coming up
What
roses.
was wrong with it?
It was
the other way.
flipped.
It's just
So this is it's a tree that's growing up. So at the ends, it's kind of uneven. So when it was flipped,
Ugly.
This was off balance.
Ew.
It looked bad, but now it's fixed.
That's one of those things. When I generally have kind of blinders on in real life,
What? Whoa.
so I don't I'm very hyper aware of whatever I'm focusing on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's true.
No, I am. When I'm focusing on something, I'm incredibly attentive to detail and very
Except for when it comes to spelling and grammar, I will agree with you.
yes.
What color shirt was I wearing when we walked past each other earlier?
I don't care about what shirt you wear, Gavin.
Right.
So
Black.
it's not part of my. It's not.
It was this one actually. I was always wearing this.
Yeah, I don't
question.
care. I don't care what people wear. I don't care what's on the walls. I care about whatever I'm thinking about. And so I'm very.
Okay, what's on the walls?
So when I'm focused on something, that is what I'm focused on. So it gives me abilities for.
Well, guys, by ignoring walls, I can apply all of my intellect onto what's right in
It
front of
gives
me.
me ability.
I couldn't fly because I didn't notice the color of the wall.
I think it's fair to say Chris is sauce.
I'm not.
Well, we have still a post show to do, so let's continue talking about your abilities in the post show. Thank you guys for joining us today on the Rooster Teeth podcast. Please wash your hands, stay safe out there,
Keep your distance from other people.
practice social distancing, act as if you have the virus, and keep others safe because you might not have any symptoms or have very low symptoms, and other people could be very much affected by it. So stay safe out there. We're going to try to keep making content for you guys as time goes on, and we love you. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.